Should you summon on this weekend's special ancient summoning banner in Watcher of Realms for Cyrus and Casiel? Short answer, no. Long answer, no. No, you should not. This isn't a terrible banner, but it is without a doubt at this point in the game, at this point in the Watcher of Realms life cycle in 2026 into February already, 1 month behind us, heading towards 2027. It's a mediocre banner. It is below average without a doubt. Now, Cyrus is definitely a good lord in a lot of ways. He's one of the absolute best tanks in the game, and he is a very relevant lord over a very relevant faction. That being said, he no longer is the super top tier option he once was, and the non-lord he is paired with, Cassiel, still sucks booty cheeks. He looks amazing. He's very cool. You'd think he hits like a truck, but like a truck hit, he does not. Not even close. There's no other way to put it. Also, guys, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. He did just get buffed in the most recent update. I will take you through it, and I will explain that this buff is not even close to good enough. At the end of the day, he is a pretty good, depending on the content, pretty good single target DPS. Who gives a shit? I'll bleep that out. Why would we ever care? In specific Malric challenges, he's quite usable. He's not needed. He's not even going to shine that bright. He's just very usable. Outside of that, he is completely outclassed by so many other top tier single target options. And I'm not just talking about super high awakenings on Kagiri or Sun Wukong or Neza. I'm talking about Valeria. I'm talking about obviously Twyla. Any good, Arrogance, even as a single target, all these guys shine way brighter than Cassiel. He's just not good. You know, even in their own write-up, in the official testing that the devs and the testing team put out, they describe his old damage output as mediocre. And they're saying it is no longer mediocre. They never say it's good. They're just saying it's no longer mediocre. And when we go through these numbers and when I talk you through these changes very quickly, because I don't want to spend much time on it, you're going to see it just barely moves the needle. You need him A1 to feel a difference. There's like no change. He's still mediocre if you don't have him A1. And with A1, he's like pretty good in some places. And that sucks. Let's talk about Cyrus because he's the most relevant. And then just to have some real fun, let's talk about the home run superstar ultra sexy banner coming next weekend for Special Ancient Summoning. That is going to be on Valentine's Day. That's going to be Saturday, February the 14th. A week after this banner comes, we are getting Pierre. Mamma mia, he is so flippin' good, and he will be paired with EZARETH, who in my opinion right now in the game, February 2026, Watcher of Realms, EZARETH is the second best legendary lord in this game. I think it goes Ingrid, and then I think it goes EZARETH. I think if you've got an EZARETH, you want another one to get A1. I think if you got A1 and you care at all about GVG, you want to get many, many, many more EZARETH because he gets really strong as a unit at A3, at A5, cool stuff. But also, he is the second best BP hero in the game now after they recalibrated his BP weights. I think that was 2 updates ago. So we'll hype that up at the end. But right now, let's mostly just talk about Cyrus, and then we'll go through those CASSIEL changes. TLDR, please skip this banner. I mean, do whatever you want, as always. Have fun. If summoning on this specific banner is fun to you, do it. But I do assume most people that watch these kind of videos from me, these Should You Summon videos, I think my first one ever was September or October of 2023. We've done over 100 since probably. I don't know. Maybe I should go back and count how many I've done, but definitely over 50. I've done so many of these, and I figure if you tune into these, you want my advice, and my advice is skip this. Please skip this. I don't know why you wouldn't skip this. Skip this. Everyone should skip this. Unless you're, okay, if you're an enormous spender and you can just get as many ancients as you want, money's not an issue, go for it. Cyrus is fun. For everyone else, if you're not spending thousands of dollars every time there's an ancient banner you're interested in, skip this. I mean, Pierre's coming next week. None of you have Pierre. He doesn't exist in the game yet, and I think he's better than both these guys by a lot. There's a good argument for Cyrus just because he's a very quality lord, but he's not even the best lord in this faction. Actually, let's get into the Cyrus stuff now. He's not even the best lord in this faction anymore. Nastia is definitely better. I would rank Nastia as either the number 4 or 5 legendary lord in this game. I actually know where I'd rank her. You're going to have to tune in next week where I do my top 10 lords for 2026. It's going to be very fun. We're going to do the overall ratings on the tier list and all that good stuff. But yeah, he's a good chunk behind Nastia, I would say. And that's not a critique against Cyrus. He's just not the best in his faction anymore. He's also not the best tank in the game anymore. That was a big claim to fame he had. He was a good lord from a great faction who actually, when deployed, was the best pure tank in the game when it came to not dying and being a tank and blocking a lot of enemies. But Khadgram's better. Khadgram is better. That's not to say Cyrus is bad. He's phenomenal, but tanks are not the most essential thing in this game. If you already have like a Khadgram or a Brokir or a Malvira, maybe you got more supporty tanks like Draylin, or maybe you have an A1 Hearts, frankly. Like, do you need Cyrus? Like, no, I really don't think so. He can work for a lot of things. You can build him as a DPS, and he's quite a good DPS. Not top tier, but quite good. You can use him as a tank. He's a top 3 tank for sure still in this game when it comes to just tanking stuff. And you can use him as a lord. So he's a great guy to have. He's an awesome to have unit. He's not a go and get unit anymore, in my humble opinion. So that's my take on Cyrus right now. Let's talk about Cassiel. What's there to really say? One of the coolest designs in the game when it comes to aesthetic, one of the most boring, weird designs in the game when it comes to the kit. I'm not going to break down the whole kit. Just know it's a lot of single target damage. He has a very cool burst here with this ultimate where he fully ignores all defense. But you can see right here, the damage is not that crazy, right? That first instance of damage, we're talking 700% damage, single target. I mean, compare that to Rosalia, who's coming out now, who every 4 to 5 seconds, depending on how fast you build her, is dealing 800% AoE magic damage, hitting 12 enemies, 800%. She's doing that every 4 to 5 seconds, depending on the build, 6 if you build her really slow. And that's not counting all the other bursts of bonus damage she can do. Go watch my Rosalia video, or go watch my upcoming Rosalia videos, or watch them all, because she's so crazy. But just compare that, right? And she's putting out magic resistance reduction, so she's doing a partial shred. He's doing a full shred here. He's ignoring all the physical defense, but it has a fairly high cooldown, right? I mean, we're talking 500 rage. So, you know, it's going to be many seconds between each one of these little bursts. Yes, with the new changes, this comes around a little faster, but only in content where he's not hitting anything for a long time. So it's really just like Malric. And even then, it's still single target. When you think of Malric, do you think of the best single target units in the game? Or do you think of Ardia and Lubu and Valara and all these crazy AoEs? Of course, you think of the AoEs. You think of Neza when he's going full Mega Blaster AoE mode. So he'll be very like niche and good at specific roles in Malric. Outside of that, I just don't like him very much at all. Let's go here and let's actually go to the front of this. They actually did a very nice visualization of the changes. Let's zoom in. We've got Celerity of Mind. So if I pop that open for you guys, this is his first passive. Before, we actually got to go here to see the before. He would do all the stuff I'm about to read you, but not the thing at the very end. So let me read you what it was like before. After casting the ultimate, he increases his rage restored from consuming Divine Sigil. That's a key mechanism in his kit. And it would be up to 50% that he would increase his rage, depending on skill ups. But 50% is where you'd have him because you're going to skill him up if you're going to use him, right? He then can do follow-up attacks with his ultimate Divine Retribution, and you can see it would inflict some damage reduction all the way up to the big boy 30% damage reduction. That would last 10 seconds. It's all the same now. The only thing is when there are no enemies in his ult range, he's getting an extra 20 rage per second. And there's really no content besides like Void Rift or some general campaign stuff. I'm trying to think where I'm thinking specifically single target where this would matter. It's kind of just that, and then the most relevant for the late and end game is Malric. But it's single target, and it's not that good. He doesn't hit that hard, so it just doesn't matter. They say that the meaning is the additional rage regen substantially is going to increase his rage regen and wave-based content. I do agree, but there's not rage-based content that you care about using him in. And even the content you'd use him in, he's not filling a main role. He's filling a niche, right? If you're thinking of Malric and throwing him in a corner somewhere by a portal, yeah, he can do it, but that's not like a main role. That's not Neza or Ardia or Valara destroying an entire lane. So I just don't care. GVG defense, I think this is a bit comical. I'm not the biggest GVG mind ever. I'm not this brilliant GVG guy, but I've played enough and I ask around enough. Who cares about a random single target guy with a burst every once in a while? I don't see it. Maybe he could snipe a big baddie, but I don't see it. You know, it's not this crazy range. It's just the 2 tiles. Can you tell I don't like CASSIEL? I do not like CASSIEL, not one bit. The other change, and this really is the only other change besides adjustments to Awakenings, is that when he shares damage, that's something he does. He shares damage that allies ahead of him take. He can't kill himself if they take fatal damage. So if they're going to take fatal damage, he's not going to share that. Everything else is the same. It's all still goofy. Doesn't work well. Maybe there's a use for him that's whooshing me, but I don't see it. I don't like CASSIEL. And frankly, I don't think the people who tested him here like him. Because when you read through this, they're not impressed. They're really not. I mean, look at these changes. When you get him A4, from the previous version to the new version, he actually went down in their tests by 0.24%. And then his ultimate went up by 6%. I mean, who cares? So let's go to these Awakening changes. You can see the A1 is the biggest change for sure. The old A1 is where he got, among other things, that increase in rage per second when there were no enemies within the ult range. You see that right here. That has been moved into his passive now, which is very cool. So now they don't need that in the A1. So instead, when he consumes his Divine Sigil, his kind of signature mark mechanism thing, he's going to increase his attack by 5% for 20 seconds. He can stack it up to 3 times. So you're talking 15% more attack. It's very not exciting. It's just not special. And it has a timeout, right? It's not permanent. So best case scenario, you can keep 100% uptime. If you can cycle really, really, really crazy, I don't think you'd be able to do it very well on 15% increase attack. A big who cares. If we zoom out and we look at their testing, seems like they did good testing here, so we're going to trust them. He did go up in Malric's Hall of Illusions by 7,500 damage. You see how tiny that number is from the basics, 25k to 7.5. Sure, it's every basic, but that's just not very good. It's a 30% increase on what was already a paltry basic. So they're calling his old output mediocre. If we go here to the conclusion, let's go there. You can see he's saying the old output was mediocre and it's no longer mediocre. The basic attack output was terrible. And now maybe it's closer to mediocre. It's the ult damage that is more elevated, but you can see after that change, and you still need him A1. This is all testing done at A1. We see an increase in damage of 15%. I mean, that's not good damage. If his whole big thing is he does a single target burst ult, if it's single target, I want to see like 1 million plus damage, right? And I'm sure they did incredible builds. These guys know how to build units. So kind of stinks. I'd say he's still in the realm of the mediocre. If we check the A4 testing, well, let's actually show you what they changed for the A4. Previously, it was penetration. This was a silly awakening. I'm glad they changed it. Why was it silly? Well, he fully ignores all the defense during his ultimate. He only can really deal significant damage during his ultimate. And significant, I'm already using that word liberally. But if he's already ignoring 100% of the defense, who cares if he ignores another 8%? He's already ignoring all of it. So now he gets 15% crit damage. This is Attack of Realms. This is not crit damage of realms. 15% on a late or endgame build is barely going to move the needle, and that's what we see here. If we go to the A4 testing, his ultimate damage rose by 6%. The final thing they're changing is what happens when he's A5. So now you need to have pulled 6 copies of this ancient exclusive non-lord unit. Some of you guys do hundreds of pulls at a time when you're very unlucky without pulling a single non-lord unit. Now you got to pull this mediocre guy 6 times to get this benefit. So what's going to happen now? Previously, when his ultimate was cast, Divine Retribution, he would additionally gain a shield equal to 25% of his HP for 10 seconds, and he could stack this. That's kind of whatever. Now the shield's scaling off of his attack. You'll probably lean heavier into his attack, I guess, but I really don't know. I don't even know how that would be a buff. He has very, very, very high HP. So why would they make, I don't even know how this is an improvement. They're saying it's been revamped for smoother gear selection. I think I strongly disagree. He has a base attack. Actually, this is the first time I'm really thinking about this. He has a base attack of 6444. So if you cranked his attack to the moon, maybe you could get his attack to 30,000 if you only went balls to the wall attack, right? This is a similar range to like a Kagiri, who we typically see at 27, 28, 29,000 with a good build. So I guess if he was A2 or higher, this would be 6744, but maybe you could get his attack to 30K. Even if you're ignoring HP, just picking up 1 HP bonus or some random stuff or whatever you get from the Pantheon, he starts with 31,497 HP, and the multipliers aren't different. So this actually is a nerf. You want 25% of the HP regardless. I mean, you'll accidentally build this guy with 45, 50K HP going on a full DPS build. With a full DPS build, maybe you get him to 28K attack, right? So this isn't good. This is bad. That's probably why they didn't mention it, because again, it's a nonsensical awakening. So I've talked too long about CASSIEL. I don't like CASSIEL. You should not be pulling for CASSIEL. Who you should be pulling for is Pierre. So Cyrus, a great to have unit, a very exciting unit if you pull him off banner. Not a banner anymore, at least currently with what we have in the game, that I would seek out. GVG defense, he's not used nearly the way he was used before. There's basically no content he's strictly meta for. There's probably like 1 or 2 less important things, but there's no main content. Even Matrix, where he was the best tank, Sun Wukong can do it now, Cadgrim can do it now, King Hearts can do it now. We all know Ezrein could do it. I mean, there's a long list of units that are functional there. He's not really required for anything where he's just so much better. It's just not a thing. Someone who is going to be so much better for a lot of stuff is going to be Pierre. Pierre is freaking awesome, and he's paired with EZARETH. And I just think that how could you not go for this? So it is coming. You can see on Valentine's Day, February the 14th, Pierre and EZARETH. This is probably like a top 5 banner we've ever seen for Ancient Summoning. I know I say that every couple months, but that's because they keep one-upping themselves. Obviously, the Ingrid Valara banner, I think, is better than this. But Pierre is absolutely top tier. He has a bond skill that he gives to Rosalia, and Rosalia gives to him. That's very, very nice. Rosalia is one of the best normal units in the game now, or she will be when she comes out in a week from tonight, the day before this, February the 13th. This is a great banner. Pierre is phenomenal in AoE Arena. He's phenomenal in Matrix 1. He's phenomenal in Gear Raid 1. I haven't tested him in Gear Dungeon 1 yet, but I'm sure he would be great there. I'm sure you could make Pierre work anywhere you need AoE damage. And very cheeky thing, I have a video coming in a couple days that I'm going to make with Chatty. He's really amazing for single target arena. Why? How? You'll have to look forward to the video. So Pierre's just like a superstar kind of unit. He's going to be one of the best Ancient exclusive non-lords in the game. And like I said, EZARETH is the second best lord in the game. So this is just a juicy, juicy banner. EZARETH is good at everything. Gear Dungeon 1, Gear Raid 1, Matrix 1, AoE Arena. He's going to be phenomenal with this new Cultist meta that's coming, or just off-meta Cultist comp. He's great in GVG defense. He's phenomenal for GVG offense as a BP affiliation unit. This is such a good banner. Don't summon for Cyrus and the poopy man, CASSIEL. Please summon for Pierre and EZARETH. There you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like my stuff, please do me a favor and like this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel. It really does help. We're trying to grind it out. We're as busy as I've ever been right now, but I'm still making 10 watcher videos a week. So if you appreciate that, subscribe to the channel, share with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.